Hey, it is great to be with you today, no doubt about it. What a great crowd. And what did you think about Senator Grassley? Fired up. He is wonderful. What a wonderful mentor that I have in the United States Senate. Again, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me back to the Family Leadership Summit. It is so wonderful to see so many friends, both old friends and new friends. I have to say the theme of today's event really does mean a lot to me. Principle over politics. I was sworn in as your United States Senator about 2.5 years ago, and it's an incredible honor. During that time, I've had folks ask me, Joni, how can anyone stick to their principles in a place like Washington, D.C.? The good senior senator mentioned it is a bubble within a sea of reality. Yes, and throughout my life, and in my time in serving in the military and in the Senate, I have strived for 4 pillars or guiding principles, which include, number 1, leadership. Number 2, assuming risk. Number 3 is service to your community and your country. And number 4 is an attitude of gratefulness. It's these 4 principles that help guide me. As I mentioned, the first is leadership. I've come to learn through the years that leadership isn't earned just because you have an important or prestigious title and you can tell others what to do. We only have to look at Jesus Christ and his time as he walked this earth as a man. Jesus didn't have a fancy title, but he inspired others to follow. He was a leader. Leadership is the act of inspiring those around you to work towards a common goal or objective. It is encouraging those who look to you for direction and guiding them on the best path forward. While there has been a lot of partisanship as we continue working through solutions to some of the issues at hand, there's also a lot that's not covered by the media. Like the bipartisan work my colleagues and I have put forward to combat sexual assault in our society, or providing second chances to those who have been incarcerated and have served their time. Senator Grassley has been a tremendous leader on this front as well. Those are just some of the issues that we have been able to come together on and to lead. Now, there are other issues which require leadership that we may not have the support of our colleagues across the aisle. And I'm proud to have been a leader on those pro-life issues. So much so that my Title X bill was signed into law this year by President Trump, which prohibits the states from being able to choose, or not to choose, and to fund Planned Parenthood through those Title X funds. So states like Iowa, if they choose not to fund Planned Parenthood, they won't be forced by the federal government to do so. We are pleased that that passed. And I give thanks that we have a President Trump and a Vice President Pence that is there in our White House to support those initiatives. And I would remind you that that bill, the Title X bill, did take a tie-breaking vote in the Senate. And Vice President Pence came in, assumed the role as President of the Senate, and cast that tie-breaking vote. The second pillar that I have lived by is assuming prudent risk. By that I mean taking risks, but doing so with the future in mind. Assuming prudent risk has been a valuable tool for me both in the military and in the Senate. When evaluating legislation, I work to understand the challenges and the opportunities. What type of impact would this leave on Iowans? Is it a positive or a negative change? I weigh those out and I make a decision. The third pillar is service to your community and to your country. Through the military, I found a sense of duty to my country, one that would stay with me throughout 23 years of my military career. But having been raised in an agricultural heavy area where neighbors often lent a helping hand, I also knew the value and importance of service to my own community. And it can be done in so many ways, as a volunteer on a community board or through your church. While completing my undergraduate degree, I volunteered at a safe house for battered and abused women and children nearby. At some point, our community members need a helping hand, and as a society, it's up to us to extend one and keep them moving forward. It's up to us as individuals, not through government mandates. The feeling in your gut, that sense of responsibility to your community or our nation and to one another, must be acted on: service. And this leads me to my final pillar, an attitude of gratefulness. Folks, we can't get far in life without having folks who stand behind us and support us. Those people deserve our unending gratitude, because without their support and encouragement, we simply wouldn't be where we are. I wouldn't be where I am without the love and support of my family, my friends, my colleagues, so many of you that are here today, and my God. Thanks to all of you who knocked on doors, who made those phone calls or supported me in other ways. I am eternally grateful to all of you. I am so thankful to have your trust and your confidence. It is unfortunate, as I mentioned, that all we seem to hear about in the media is adversity. Adversity in Washington, D.C. Yet the reality is, we have confirmed a new Supreme Court justice who is in the mold of Antonin Scalia. And thank you, Senator Grassley, for leading that charge. We have also rolled back many of the Obama administration's burdensome rules and have started the process to get this Keystone Pipeline built, which means more jobs and a step towards energy security. Working together under a Republican White House and Congress, we have a critical opportunity to get our country growing again and to ensure America remains a strong, stabilizing force around the globe. And it is thanks to your hard work. But our work, folks, isn't finished. It's only just begun. It's so important that all of you continue to stand up and fight for what you believe in. Here in the United States, we are so blessed to have that right. Let's continue to exercise it. And let us never, ever forget where our core principles come from. All of us today, throughout this day, should look inside and know that so much of what we stand for comes from God, our Creator. Thank you. The 4 pillars that I have always strived for came from my upbringing in rural Iowa and from the family that guided me in the right direction, and certainly came through my church and those church leaders as well. The blessings that have been bestowed upon us each and every day, we know those come from God. Thank you all again for having me here today. Of course, God bless this great state of Iowa, and for all of you, let's celebrate and know that God is blessing these great United States of America. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. God bless you all. Thanks so much. Thank you.